Welcome to another session of Stelmo's Rants and Raves. I'm Stelmo. Let's just jump right in. I was thinking about this, and today I decided I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to run through some of these headlines at the libertydaily.com, which is a news aggregator site. I found this when I was looking to replace the Drudge Report. Came a point in time there, going back several years ago, when Matt Drudge decided he was going to sell out and have the platform take a much more liberal point of view. So I came to the Liberty Daily, and so now let's go over some of the headlines that they have here and comment a little bit on them. All right, so it says Georgia Power is threatening eminent domain to seize people's property for AI data centers. One of the Supreme Court cases that really upset me, and there's just no justification for it. And I'm getting too old, so I don't remember the name of it right now. But in this particular Supreme Court case, they said it's okay for governments to use their eminent domain powers to seize property to then sell to developers. That's as bad a decision as you can have, and you can see where the justices sold out to, let's just say that the money powers. It's sad, but AI is not a government entity. And so eminent domain should never be used to acquire property for developers. That's a bizarre, insane opinion. Let us not forget, for millennium now, we have lived with the saying, a man's home is his castle. It goes back to English common law. And but it has been deteriorated here in this country with this insane ruling that allows them to seize people's personal property so that they could sell it to developers. Let's hope it doesn't happen in this case. Next, Thomas Massie introduces bill forcing APEC to register as a foreign agent. I don't generally support a lot of the wacky things that come from Thomas Massie, but in this case, I'm going to say this is APEC is, I think by definition, a foreign agent here in America, and as such, they should be required to register as such. But they spend a lot of money to politicians of both parties, so they're able to get these things that we have to deal with. Here's another headline. Worst prosecutor in America struggles to explain why Democrats keep protecting illegal alien murderers. This is somewhat worrisome too, because we should know the answer by now. Of course this prosecutor is having a hard time answering the questions, because in his what God gave him up here, he knows what's happening is wrong. But he also knows who put him in power. He knows who's lining his pockets. Even if he's not being corrupt, one can argue, he owes his very paycheck to, either George Soros directly or indirectly through the number of PACs that George Soros has out there, and that are putting these prosecutors in place. What is the whole purpose of this? They want to break down society. They want to collapse our country. They don't like our country. And it just seems to me that we have one political party, and it's the political party I generally support, the Republican Party. They refuse to recognize what they're facing. Their adversaries are no longer, let's say, my parents' Democrat Party. The Democratic Party has been co-opted. and is now controlled by the socialists. And that's just a stark reality. And I guess people can ignore this or whatever, but it's not going to make it go away. Here's another headline. Go effing shoot yourself. Democrat loses her mind during House floor sit-in over Minnesota's gun grab bill. You know, they got a lot of loons up there. It's what happens when you have a lot of illegal voters and you keep allowing them to come in and you keep allowing them to steal money. Now, generally speaking, you would think they wouldn't want foreigners to be stealing money from us. But the reason that they're allowing this is because they want to collapse our economy. George Soros is a currency trader. People need to repeat this all the time. He's a currency trader. He is I believe Hungarian, or perhaps Romanian. I forget his exact country of origin, but whichever country it is, they have outlawed him. It is not legal for him to go back. If he does go back, he's going to be arrested. So, of course, he's not going to do that. There's a reason why his own country of his own birth doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. And we need to recognize this in this country. And yet I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening. Next headline. Georgia residents expose AI data center water controversy. Now, from what I gather here, they found that one of the data centers was somehow being able to acquire millions of gallons of water without paying for it. And I'm sure that if you did a little history, if we get some of these, this is a case where we got to get these amateur journalists putting these people on the record as to why they're doing what they do. But I'm willing to bet that a lot of money has been put into people's pockets to close their eyes so that this AI center can get the water they need and to do so without paying. Let the peons out there, the voters, let the voters pay because they're putting in these corrupt people, and generally speaking, they don't vote them out of office that often. Let's see, we'll move on to the next headline. Trump secures huge Boeing deal with China. First big order in nearly a decade, signals shifting trade winds. Well, I don't know. I think Boeing makes... Boeing makes Air Force One, and they are so far behind and so far over budget with the new Air Force One. I don't know that giving them more work is somehow a good thing because they're having a hard time doing the work that they have. And while I'm on the subject, one of the things that has always bothered me is, why aren't these companies forced to post bonds so that when they go over, the bonding company has to pay? Trust me, if they put that system in place, it won't take long to solve the problem. But perhaps that is the problem and they don't want it solved, but we'll have to wait and see. Pushed into poverty, Somalia's currency crisis leaves traders holding worthless cash. Well, you're going to see that happen in more and more countries. Paper currency, fiat currency. You cannot print money at the pace that these countries are printing money and borrowing money. And sadly, that's the only thing that's propping up a lot of economies right now, because the fundamentals have been co-opted so that nothing is working the way it should. Let me put this another way. They built a house of cards, and when you build a house of cards, you know what ultimately is going to happen. It's going to come crashing down. So, you know, this next headline is interesting. We have to ask, why the heck are there so many ticks? Well, I didn't know that there was a problem with ticks. Uh, I live in Florida, and I haven't seen, well, to be quite frankly, I haven't seen a tick. So it's not too bad here. And I live in a semi-rural area. We got plenty of trees and stuff in this area. So you would think you might have ticks. Uh, but that hasn't been a problem here. But ever since the first pandemic, which never accomplished their end goal, I believe they're out to come up with, plan B, plan C, plan D, whatever it takes for them to get their goal. And what is their goal? Well, they believe that 800 million should be the cap as far as the number of people living on this planet. And so there's quite a few billion extra people right now that at least some of these wealthy loons are trying to do away with. They believe in their minds that if they don't do this, then they and their families are going to perish as well. And so that's their motivating factor. I don't think that there is going to be a natural phenomena to cause the population to decline. So they're out there with their things. We now have this antivirus, which we'll wait and see how that plays out. But I don't know what the thing is with the ticks. I know West Nile, I believe, is one of the things that ticks transmit, as well as there are other things. But these are things people need to be on the lookout for, because keep in mind, they don't want you and me alive. They don't want us alive. And so we'll just have to see. And conveniently, that takes me to the next headline, which reads, Pandemic Panic Theater 2.0 strikes as dozens of Americans are being monitored for hantavirus. The fact that this hantavirus can be basically dormant in a person's system for 6 to 8 weeks before they start to show symptoms of it is going to be problematic, no matter how they cut it. Now, I know that there are some doctors out there saying that this isn't going to be a problem, and then they cite their own reasons. But, they're using, I would suggest, some old data. And I'm not sure that they may be privy to information how this virus may have been potentially mutated. Sort of like, how should we say, gain of function research, take the virus, try to make it more deadly. They don't know that hasn't happened in this case. And we're all going to have to just wait and find out. But what I can say is this. The American people and people pretty much all around the world have established that they are sheep. They're willing to take whatever their government puts out there for them, because nobody has been held to account for the first pandemic. Well, let me take that back. One of Fauci's main assistants was recently indicted last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. And hopefully they're going to try to turn him to get Fauci. And hopefully they're going to test his bogus pardon in court, but at least expose what happened. The public must be made aware, because a lot of the public out there, they're living their life day to day. They don't care about reading the news or seeing what's happening. They just think everything is going to be fine if they just keep getting up and going to work every day and going about their normal routine. Well, unfortunately, there are too many people in this world that want to see that routine broken. And it's something that they're all going to have to keep up on. And with that, I think for now, I'm going to close this video. And I kind of like doing it this way. And I think it helps me with my short-term memory problem to keep, there's lots of headlines here, and do a short comment on each, and all of them in due course. And if anybody has any questions or anything, please jot them down below. I would love to try to answer them. May not have the best answer or whatever, but I'll give it my best shot. And with that, I want to say, wish everyone a good day. Stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. No place is fully safe anymore. And but do your best, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.